We're live. It's the Modern Fowler Scrum. It is a Tuesday morning in this part of the world. Sam and Bill and Brent are here. I will go first. Just been pairing with Brent, having fun there. Just before that, struggling with local support. We're a little bit of a blocker there. Confused about why the events don't show up on local support on production, but apparently seem to work locally. Also, some other kind of strange date processing error is there. This morning I was working on getting the monthly report for Agile Ventures done. That is now finished. I'd like, okay, that's done. There's lots of other things to do and just general admin chaos. We've got the RSpec mob coming up soon, and I've got the NHS meeting later on today. Yeah, not really blocked by anything, just needing to get all of the admin stuff under control. Been having a great session with Brent, which Brent will probably talk about now. Brent, how are things going with you?
Yep, good, thank you. Yeah, so I've been doing quite a bit of work on the Charity Commission API. We've got the main charities table in and working, and we're just literally before today's Scrum, we were trying to get it up onto a Doku, so that we've got a production environment, but that's still not working at the moment. So there's more stuff to test there. Outside of the Charity Commission, I've been basically forging ahead with the MOOC, and that's it really. For the rest of the day, I may try and spend a bit more time on the Charity Commission. I've got the RSpec mob, and I've got an afternoon of other meetings, so probably won't get to do much more, unfortunately. But no blockers.
Great stuff, Brent. Good show. We'll go on to Bill. Bill, how are things going with you?
Going well. Had was it a meeting yesterday with, was it Federico and Lara and Mercy? Was it new members?
Yeah, right.
So that went well. Had quite a few questions answered.
Wonderful.
With regards to premium mob membership and that. But other than that, I've been working through was it the flat iron curriculum and also the MOOC curriculum. No blockers really. It's just a case of sitting down and hitting out the work. That's
Absolutely. It often is. Fantastic. Great to hear your updates. And I'm also welcome Norn and Stella have joined us. Welcome. Thank you, Bill. Let's go on to Stella. Stella, how are things going with you?
Things are great. Nothing much to report. But the event page works well on my machine.
Yes, works well, and works mainly on my machine. I was just talking about this before you joined, Stella. Yeah, on local support, we've got something a bit strange there that I can't quite work out, and it needs a look at. It would be maybe if you have time at the end, we could stick around and just look at it working on your machine and look at it on my machine, and so on if you have time.
Okay.
Great. Otherwise, I guess you're not blocked by anything else.
No.
Great. Norns says it's his first hangout, just listening in, which is absolutely great. That's what they're here for. Norn, if you want to share anything with us about what you're working on or have any questions, that's also good. But no requirement to jump in until you're ready. So with that, I think we've been round everybody. Does anybody have any other matters that they wanted to bring up or they forgot to bring up earlier?
Not from me, thanks.
So I think that's our Scrum, and people are free to leave. We've had our little check-in as a event's going on. We've got the RSpec mob at the top of the hour, an NHS meeting later on today. Another Scrum coming up in about 4 hours from now. Yeah, so it would be great to look at the local support with Stella if Stella's got time. Brent, we had 2 other little minor things to look at, but I guess they're not urgent. And what would be lovely is if we can check if that database URL, just like deleting database YAML, it works for us in terms of that deploy, because that may be the final thing, and we'll start seeing JSON code over the production system.
Yep, I'll do that now while you're talking to Stella, if you like.
All right, great. Yeah, Stella, do you have some time to look at this issue now? You're muted at the moment, Stella. Yeah. So here is the issue. We've got this. It's not in production. I mean, we've got it. Normal users can't link to. They're not linked to this, so they wouldn't see it. But so we've got, when we go to the events item on production here, we see the upcoming events. We've got the issue that the first event here is hyperlinked, but it doesn't kind of go anywhere. So normally we'd expect that to link through to the first event, but that's a separate bug. I've checked in the database that the event ID is 1, but when I do it here, we just get no information. When it has a name and a description, which are both tests in this case. I've also been doing it locally, and I've managed to get it to work locally. Could you maybe share your screen with me, Stella, and have you got it running locally for you at the moment?
Let me share this screen.
Yeah, I've got the latest develop branch, and I'm encountering problems with this, undefined method struff time, which is a little disturbing. But yeah, so if you get your one running, I've also been looking through the code. I guess I will pull up. Look.
So that's the events page.
Oh yes.
If I click on the title,
yeah,
it directs me to that event.
So that's interesting, right? So so if you go to your command line, and you do git status, can we? So you're in, right? You're in the event show branch there. Okay.
Yeah, I had created a new branch in case I needed to change anything.
I see. Yeah. If you now go back to, can you you could do there. Can you do git log there for me? And so the latest commit that we've got there is me. That's what's that there. It's like 2e. If I look on develop, I've got my git hist here. So we're on quite different branches there. Like there's been, see, I've got, if you look at my screen, you're on this, shall we say, older commit. And so there's been a fair number of changes since then. So it's maybe that a bug has been introduced separately. But so one of the critical things for you is if you go back to your command line and you check out the develop branch, I'm going to do on my one git pull there. And so this is saying here that your branch is ahead of Origin developed by 61 commits. So that's okay. So hold on. So if you can you do git remote -v for me? So right. So what we've got here is a situation where your local develop branch is maybe different to both the code that you've got in your repo and the code that's on the main local support repo, and that can lead to some confusing situations. Does that make sense? The difference in the different locations, Stella?
No.
Ah, okay. Yeah, maybe I can indulge you by drawing a diagram, because this is I think this is it's a particularly tricky thing, and lots of people kind of get caught out by it, and even I continue to get caught out by it. So I'm just putting up a little diagram here. So we've got this situation, and now with this, okay, yeah, shapes, yeah. So we've got our, laptop that we work on. So maybe we'll call this Stella's laptop there. And you've got the different, we're assuming we're talking about, the repo for local support. But so as you've got these different branches, such as develop or, the feature branch and so on locally. And this is one Git repo. But then we've also got, so we've got here, this is Stella's GitHub account. And so this exists kind of in the cloud, and it also has these different branches. And then we've also got, let's take this over here. Ooh. We've also got over here, just make this smaller. To get more screen real estate. We've also got the AV GitHub account, and this is all for. Actually, I'll put the title back in. This is all for it's different local support repos or repositories, or Git repositories. And of course, it gets even more complicated when you consider all the different projects and their different bits and pieces. And then we've also got as well, there are things like we've got the AV Heroku production. And so, which won't usually have it would just be like the master branch there sitting on the production system. And so we've got this quite complex setup where in these different places we can have the code can be in different states in each of these different places, and the Git log, or I've got Git hist set up to give me a view, shows us that we have, can give us a detailed, in terms of sort of unique commits, where things are. So we can see now for me, I've got the local support develop here, and if I do git remote -v, I don't work with a fork of the system. Or I've got my origin set to be the main Agile Ventures, local support setup there. And so when I now do here git full origin develop, because I'm just working against that, it tells me I'm completely up to date. And this git commit here should match exactly the git commit on the develop branch in the cloud. So if we go GitHub, Agile Ventures, local support, and we look at the commit history here, we hopefully see this number 852E07B, that matches that exactly there. But so we can see, if we look here, and we've got, is still the right one here? No, oops. Oh, I've spelled your, what's your GitHub name?
STLMyris123.
Can you just maybe type it into the chat for me? I mean, I should be able to find it. Okay. There we go. Like so. There we go. And so we can see your develop branch here. And then we can look here and see these are the commit. So we can see here that in your, and maybe you're not using this very much, but we can see that this is on a much older value. It's like, the last commit was there in like, the beginning of this year. So we've got the situation where, I mean, I guess we'll put my laptop in there as well. So we've got there Sam's laptop. Let's put the production system in the center there. So at the moment, if we look at the main one there, we can see that let's copy that. I don't want the full, okay. Oh no, that will jump through and see it. I don't want to do that. It's on a little. It's copied a very long, because the full hash is very long, which we don't really need. There, so we can see that we've got both the, the AV main account in the cloud, and my local system. They're on. We know for certain that they're on the same code base, assuming that there's no dirty Git stuff hanging around. But so we've got you here on a different one, and that's, depending on how you're working, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something that we want to keep an eye on. And of course, you can be on different things with different. Actually, I don't know what you are on locally. Actually, let's go and grab. So we've got one thing there. If we can just go back to your screen, can we see what was the Git what was the Git log that you had locally on your system? So yeah, if you just scroll up a little bit, you're there. It's on the page that you're on there. Just if you scroll up a little bit there. So it says that you've got one there, which is 2E3EB. 2E3EB. So if you look back at my screen now, so really for your development purposes, ideally your local develop branch would match this one exactly, and possibly also this one should match that exactly. At the moment, they're on three different, the code is in three different states in those different places. So ideally, we need to kind of fix that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And don't feel bad about this, because this is Git is a horribly complicated system, and one needs hundreds of diagrams to understand these things. Would you be able to sort of make changes there yourself, or shall we perhaps just run through how to fix this together?
I think I can try.
Yeah, you could definitely do it. I guess my worry is that we might have some code that you have locally that's maybe missing from us. So if you've got time now, I wonder if we can at least maybe get all of the codes that you have available. I'd really like to get you to run some commands on yours and see what the output is. Maybe you could just go to.
Okay.
I mean, if you need to go now, that's absolutely fine. But if you've got a bit of time, I would just on develop. If you try doing git pull upstream develop, I just wonder if it will let you do it, or if we'll have an error. And let's see. So doing this git pull upstream develop, what that's doing is it's trying to take all of the code that's on the Agile Ventures account on the develop branch and pull that into your local develop branch. And so, all right, so now you've got that. And so having done that, the key next step is to see if you can do git push origin develop, and that would bring your personal account up to date. All right, that's great, yeah. So now, in principle, all three of the, if we go back to my diagram, we should now have, if we reload here, yeah, we should see now that, I think that was 852, yes. Well, I can certainly see here locally that your fork of local support has the same commit as our main one. And if you now do git log locally on your machines, we should see there at the top. Yeah, we've got so now we've got the same commit in all of those places, and that's really important that we try and maintain that consistency. And every time you start work, you should be checking to pull in from the upstream, develop, and so on, so that we're all working on the same page. Now, the fact that they all pulled in smoothly suggests that we've got all of the work that you've got on your machine. It didn't have any merge conflicts, and so on. Do you want to try running maybe you've still got the server running. Do you want to try and show us the events page again locally for you? Because I suspect we may now see the same error. If we don't, that would be very interesting. But so event 25 is still there. But what if you go to the events page, and then you click on the all the X's? Does that link through still? Okay.
Yeah.
And I see you've also got the calendar there as well. So there's definitely, I guess now, do you want to, I know you already created a branch, but maybe just in order to make sure that I've got all of your code, if you go back to the terminal, if you could go back to the, here. And so are we on the develop branch? If you check out that new branch that you created, there we go. Yeah, and now do git. You could do git. I wonder if you can do there. What we want to do now really is, can you try git rebase develop? Here we'll try and pull all of the code that you've now got on the develop branch into that branch. Yeah. Just hit return, git rebase develop. What this will try and do is it will try and pull in all of the commits that are on develop. Yeah, and that worked fine. So now, can you push that branch to, so if you do git push origin and then just the name of the branch, because I think just because you've got the calendar, there must be some differences that we have not got. There's some commits somewhere. I would do that. I do. Don't do git pull here because we rebased it. Maybe got rid of some other things. If you do git push -f origin and that event show. There we go. And then maybe if you could open a pull request from that branch, and then that will probably show me the list of things that we're missing. Yeah. Well, I think maybe that's as far. Well, if you want to do that, I was just going to check. Brent, how is that database URL stuff going in the background?
That broke it. When Docker tries to restart, it comes up with an error. In fact, let me share my screen actually.
So I think I just said to Stella, you won't find the branch in that repo because the branch is in your Stella Maris repo. So if you could go on, Brent.
Yeah, sorry. So as you can see, it's saying that you need to have application.
Right. We were seeing that. Right. Okay.
I don't think there are any changes.
Go on, Estella.
I don't think there are any changes in the file that I pushed, or I just searched for the branch.
Yeah, so you've got the branch. Yes. I mean, I can see some things like there's Sigu's commit of the calendar of events and some other things. But so if you just go back to the page that you were on, I think if you click the new pull request button, it will, I mean, actually from this, if you just click on here, if you go to, oh, you're looking at my screen. Sorry, go back to yours. I was looking at my screen and not your screen. But so yeah, here, sorry, go back to yours. Yeah, click new pull request there, the one that you were just on. Yeah, just there. It says new pull request. Yeah. And then what you want to do, yeah, is on the on the extreme right, it says compare develop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you click the drop down there, and we need to find the event show branch. Yep. And then really. So why don't I even, that's very strange. Is that the same event? God, that is very strange. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go away and look at this even more carefully, because yeah, I've got 3,400 commits. Add calendar events. Something very strange is going on. I don't know what it is. This is your, I've got this branch here. Can I just be, well, that's very strange, Stella. Yeah. There maybe there's some kind of, is it some kind of JavaScript thing? We're on different versions of JavaScript? Because the whole, you see how for you, the whole calendar appears, doesn't it? But
yeah,
for us, I wonder if that reflects locally that I haven't done npm install or something, or bow install that we were. And I get all sorts of errors. Okay. Well, that's great that we've been able to establish that I'm not missing any code, but well, that's definitely a blocker. I mean, leave that with me. But yeah, and Brent, so you've removed the database.yaml file, and the config still has the database underscore URL in it. Is there something else that we have to do? Okay, so that's another sticky stuck point. I mean,
what I can do is I'll try and read that document this afternoon and see if I'll put the file back and have a play.
Yeah, yeah, good show. Right, yeah, well, I think it's probably time to leave it there. Norn, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Stella, did you have any questions at all about what I was showing in terms of the different Git repos? I hope that makes a bit more sense now.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Oh, excellent. That's good. Well, that's one great success there. Lots of other interesting things to look at. Fantastic. All right. Well, no questions from Norn. Norn, do join us anytime, and or if you want to ask questions in Slack, new members channel, and we'll be welcome to help you out. All right. Bye for now, everyone. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.